Hey YouTube family, it's Dinko the Realtor, your Utah Realtor. I have some things to share with you that is definitely showing things have not stabilized and that this recession could potentially be coming and that they are fudging the numbers. Before we get into that, Dinko the Realtor has your back like nobody else. Smash that like button, help me get this video in front of more people. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified when new videos drop. That way you have all the new data and the new information that's coming out, so you have that at your fingertips. Now, look at this right here. Let me pull this up. New data shows that U.S. job growth has been far weaker than initially reported. What's going on? How is it weaker than initially reported? This part right here is mind-boggling. Let me scroll down. Check this out right here. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics annually benchmark review of employment data suggests that there were 818,000 fewer jobs in March of this year than were initially reported. Hold on. How do you underreport? Let me actually zoom that in a little. How do you underreport by 818,000 jobs? So in a 12-month period, the jobs that were created went from 2.9 million all the way down to 2.1 million. Now let's read this a little bit further. Just want to make sure I'm not blocking anything. Right here, this is the largest downward revision since 2009 and shows that the labor market wasn't quite as red hot as initially thought. However, job growth was historically strong. Okay, now 800,000 jobs gone, showing that the job market is still historically strong. Well, let's look into the historically strong norm and what that means. And all of this is happening as inventory levels just continuously increase. And this is why I've been saying, I said last year, if we don't see a recession and you're in a buy now mode, you're going to want to buy at the end of 2023. And we're going to see an upswing in the springtime and the first half of 2024 if we don't see a recession. And all of that actually happened. And then I said, we're still, per the data, going to see a downward swing in the second half of 2024. And that has happened. We're seeing houses staying on the market, prices dropping. We're seeing inventory levels hitting higher than 2022 when we saw upwards of 15% price drops on the average home. So right here, let me look at this historically strong job growth. Well, let me go over here. Look at this. Part-time, charting the rise of part-time opportunities. So the share of part-time job postings has climbed since 2022, while full-time postings have remained flat. And I didn't zoom that in too much. Let me zoom that in, that way you can see it. There we go. So you see that right there. Okay, well, if we go back over here, still historically strong. But if we look at this, it's not historically strong because majority of it is part-time stuff. I mean, it says it right here. Full-time stuff has remained flat. So how's that a strong historically strong job market? Right here, look at this. U.S. employers want more part-time workers. Here's what that means. Well, again, how is that indicating that the job market is great? And you're hearing a lot of people saying that it's a bad job market. I have people that are saying they can't find a job, they can't find a good quality job, and it's much harder than any time in the last 10 years. So again, that's one of the things. And then right here, this actually is the article that I want to show you. A record number of Americans are choosing to work part-time jobs, and here's why. So this one here goes into saying that a record number of Americans are choosing to work part-time, including teens, retirees, stay-at-home moms, everybody, because of inflation and employees who burned out all their full-time jobs while covering for missing colleagues during COVID. I mean, look at all of that. So right there, people are literally working these jobs just to stay afloat. Now, if that isn't as bad as enough, and I mean, I've just been sharing everything with you guys, showing you what's happened. This is why I've been saying for the last 2 years that nothing has stabilized. Nothing in the economy has stabilized. Nothing in the housing market has stabilized. And we continuously receive new data showing that. Just like I was sharing all this stuff with the credit cards last week on the last video a couple of days ago, showing that the average consumer is not in good standing, where Gen Z, 1 out of 7 has maxed out their credit card. And we're seeing that you'd have to go back to about 2010 to see the delinquencies that we're seeing on the credit card. So people are working more part-time jobs with their full-time jobs. People are not able to stay afloat with all of these expenses that are accruing. Now check this out right here. This is what I want to share with you guys as well. This just shows you that things aren't stabilizing. car repossessions, let me make sure I'm not blocking anything. Car repossessions are up 23% in 2024. Car repossessions are up 23% from a year ago. Credit card debt, repossessions, sales are at an all-time low. Mortgage applications are at like a 30-year low. And so are the sales. I mean, when you go back, it'd be maybe about 30 years as well, but the population was much, much lower in the early or mid 90s. So you'd have to say that it probably is an all-time low if we were taking a percentage of the population. So we're seeing that. And I showed you guys this stuff. I mean, here, let me just pull this up. Maybe this will, actually, then let me pull this up. So right here, this is showing the inventory growth, right? And we're seeing this inventory growth. However, right now, we are actually at essentially this week, I believe we're going to hit 11,000. Now, 11,000 units compared to last year of 9,600 and 10,400 was the max in 2022. And that's when we saw upwards of 15% in price drops. Now, let me pull something else up here and just kind of show you guys this. Let me pull it up. All right. And until that is loading, we'll just go back over here. And then the article goes, oh, I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, well, guess we're not going to be seeing the other one because it's just not cooperating. But anyway, right here we see car repossessions are 23% up. And then sales, that's what I was going to show you on the Excel sheet, but it doesn't want to open, is that the sales are, oh, actually, it is opening. There we go. Right here, look at the sales. Look at this, 34,000 in 2023. 2024 is going to be roughly about the same, 34, give or take a little bit. We're seeing that in the second half of 2022, sales have just been dropping. I mean, look at 2020. The highest year that there's ever been sales. Look at that, negative 18. So if we take 2023, negative 18,000 sales, if we compare it to 2020, the highest selling year with units here being sold in the housing market, and then 13,000 if we go back to 2019, the last pre-pandemic year. That's signaling that things haven't stabilized. And then you see all the credit card debt, and then you see that the car repossessions, I've been talking about the car industry, saying that there's a lot of resemblances of the car industry to 08, 09 with the subprime mortgages, with the subprime loans. There's a lot of people that are underwater on their cars because cars are not supposed to go up unless you have a classic. And then banks were just giving out ridiculous loan to value loans out there. So people are just underwater, under cars, and these cars have been taking a hit lately, a big hit. So now that pandemic prices on those cars is no longer there and people are underwater. And that's why you're seeing these spikes in these car repossessions. Now, these videos are going to keep coming. I have another video that I'm going to be preparing that's going to show you some stuff in the housing market that's showing you that things are just not stabilizing at all. That information, you're going to want to stick around. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't, that you're notified when that new video drops. Also, hit that like button so this video goes in front of more people. And if you need to get a hold of me, think of the Realtor. The contact information is down below in the description.